Picture this. A young boy growing up in the streets of Moga das Cruzes, Brazil, juggling a football with the kind of flair that leaves grown men speechless. Fast forward a couple of decades and that boy becomes Neymar Jr, one of the most gifted players of his generation. But despite his undeniable talent, his career feels, well, underwhelming. So to celebrate Neymar's return to Santos, we're going to be diving into the highs, lows, and the wild turns of Neymar's journey from a wonder kid to a decisive figure in football history. So let's start where it all began. Santos FC. By 17, Neymar was already a local hero, dazzling crowds with his dribbling ability and scoring wonder goals. In 2011, he led Santos to their first Copa Libertadores title in nearly 50 years, scoring 6 goals in the tournament, and people were calling him the next Pele. And honestly, who could argue? Between 2009 and 2013, 136 goals in 225 games for Santos. Not bad for a teenager, right? And the footballing world was watching. It wasn't long before Europe came knocking, and in 2013, as we all know, Neymar joined Barcelona for the whopping 57 million euros. Whoa, let me interrupt the video right now. 98.9% of you guys are not subscribed. How is that possible? We all love football, right? So subscribe. And then we have it. The MSN trio was born. Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. These guys were basically the Avengers of football. They bullied defenses and won the treble in the 2014-15 season and gave us some of the best football we've ever seen. Neymar himself bagged 39 goals that season, including a special goal in the Champions League final against Juventus. And it seemed like Neymar was destined to win the Ballon d'Or. But there was just one problem. A little guy named Lionel Messi. As we know, Neymar wanted to be a main character. And at Barcelona, that was never gonna happen. So enter PSG. In 2017, Neymar made the most expensive transfer in football history, a whopping 222 million euros. Paris Saint-Germain handed him the keys to the kingdom. The mission was simple: bring the Champions League to Paris. So domestically, Neymar was a beast. He racked up 118 goals and 77 assists in just 173 appearances. He won multiple League One titles and even made it to the Champions League final in 2020. But here's the kicker. PSG lost to Bayern Munich and Neymar's European dream remained just that, a dream. And it wasn't just defeats. Neymar missed 190 matches during his time at PSG. That's over a season and a half, thanks to injuries, many of which conveniently coincided with his sister's birthday. But to be fair, the injuries weren't always his fault. Opponents seemed to target him, and Neymar's flashy style made him a magnet for fouls. But it's hard to ignore the off-field antics. Lavish parties, nightclub appearances, and questionable focus didn't exactly help his career. And how can we forget? There was the infamous McDonald's incident after the Champions League loss. Talk about a coping mechanism, right? But fast forwarding a couple of weeks, Neymar became Brazil's all-time top scorer, surpassing the legend Pele, with 79 goals in 128 appearances. That's legendary status, right? Well, not quite, because when it comes to the World Cup, Neymar's story just one heartbreak. In 2014, he was stretched off with a back injury in the quarterfinals, and in 2018, he was mocked for his dramatic falls. And in 2022, despite a heroic goal against Croatia, Brazil crashed out on penalties. Which brings us to 2023. Neymar leaves PSG for Al Hilal, the Saudi era. He leaves for 90 million euros. But guess what happened? Yep, another injury. 7 matches and that was it. Fast forwarding to our current time, in January 2025, Neymar returned to Santos FC, hoping to reignite his passion and perhaps rewrite his legacy. Look, despite the title of this video, Neymar's career isn't a failure. I just had to play the YouTube game. He's one of the most skilled players we've ever seen. He made millions and gave us unforgettable moments. But it's hard not to wonder, what if Neymar just had focused on football? What if the injuries hadn't derailed his journey? And what if he stayed at Barcelona and cemented his legacy alongside Messi? As Neymar returns to where it all began, the world watches, hoping for a final chapter that befits his undeniable talent. And maybe, and just maybe, he'll surprise us all. Judging what we've learned from the past, we should keep our expectations low. So what do you think? Is Neymar a legend or a cautionary tale? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helps me a lot, and I will see you in the next one.